Hi, my name's Steve Kemp, Senior England Physiotherapist for the Football Association, and you're watching 442 Performance. So the amateur footballer, making sure that they reduce their injury risk in that sort of off-season, pre-season period. I think the first thing you're going to talk about is conditioning, making sure that with elite athletes, the first thing we tell them is don't just stop, have 4 weeks off and then you go back into training, because your body's used to a certain amount of load, your tendons are and your muscles are, and if you stop completely and don't really do enough just general conditioning in that off-season, when you go back into pre-season, your body's going to react and it won't like it. So when you apply that to the amateur athlete, when you've been playing week in, week out, and then you get your off-season, try and maintain yourself in some way. So if you think you're training, playing 90 minutes every week and you're training once or twice and you're doing 5-a-side, if you suddenly then stop for 6 weeks and then you start again, you're in a real high risk for injury. So what I'd advise you do is in that first couple of weeks, you're looking at sort of 60 minutes, so 20 minutes 3 times a week of just a light jog, your heart rate at about 130, 150, even on a bike, on a cross trainer. Don't kill yourself, but just keep yourself ticking over. And then as you're getting closer to pre-season, you want to up that. So you may look at doing sort of 40-metre sprints, so the width of the box at sort of 85% effort. Give yourself like 45 seconds recovery, do that 5 times, rest 3 minutes and then repeat that. And then you may increase that from sort of 80% speed, and then you might go up to 100% speed in the next couple of weeks. So these are drills that footballers will do on their own in the off-season. They'll go down the park and they'll do this because they know that if they keep up a certain level, when they go back into that pre-season, they're not going to get smashed with running. And the same rules apply for the amateur athlete. Maybe you just drop down some of the levels and some of the intensities. Following that, once you've kept some conditioning, it's about keeping good muscle tone, what we call neuromuscular control, so good squats and good lunges. So there's a really simple test you can do in the mirror, a single leg squat. Look at yourself in the mirror, put your hands on your hips, and as you sort of squat there, does your hips drop and does your knee roll in? Your knee should stay over your second toe and your hips should stay level. And if you find that your knee rolls in and yourself drops, well, you're showing that your knee sort of collapses, and that's a sort of injury risk for a lower limb. So the way to sort of cure that is just following yourself in the mirror and practicing that, or as a squat, getting yourself some exercise band around your knees and squatting into that, keeping your legs pushed out. You see a lot of footballers now wearing bands around their ankles in the warm-up, and that's what they're trying to do, is fire the glutes and get more hip stability to sort of reduce lower leg injury.